Can the Vikings right the ship in what I'd consider to be a must-win game for Minnesota against the red-hot Arizona Cardinals? Let's talk about it and break down this matchup. Last week, Kirk Cousins against the Cincinnati Bengals was pressured 17 times, took 5 hits, 3 sacks, and had 9 hurries. The offensive line was a disgrace. And now, we're asking that same offensive line to trot themselves out there on the field to face Chandler Jones, who last week against Tennessee recorded 5 sacks, 4 TFLs, and 2 forced fumbles. No big deal. Chandler Jones, versatile player, can play either side. My guess on Sunday is that he stays to the right. Because why make life more difficult for yourself playing left and matching up against Brian O'Neill when you can match up on the right against Rashad Hill? The help he has is Ezra Cleveland. And if you decide to rush inside, the center is Garrett Bradbury. Not to mention they also have J.J. Watt. This is a recipe for disaster. I almost feel like this is a situation where you almost have to have C.J. Ham on the field for every single snap for the help blocks. Based off the performance we saw last week by the Vikings offensive line, what is there to feel good about this week going up against a much better pass rush? And when you consider last week, the Cardinals against a run-first team, much like the Vikings, they held the Tennessee Titans to 86 rushing yards as a team. Derrick Henry himself had 58 yards on 3.4 yards per carry. Ideally, Dalvin Cook could still go off. We'd love to see it, but in the event that he does not, and he ends up getting neutralized by this Cardinals defense, then Kirk Cousins, it's your time to shine. And I like to actually pair that with Clint Kubiak. You cannot allow your starting quarterback to play under center at all. Not against this pass rush. Shotgun, pistol, whatever you got to do to get a head start of space, pre-snap, you do it. And even if the pass rush is there, all right, the offensive line, they're falling apart. You need to trust your 2 all-world receivers. And I get that we're going from, in the case of Cincinnati last week, one elite safety and Jesse Bates III to another, this time around with Budda Baker. And they have this cornerback, Arizona does, who I really like, Byron Murphy Jr. He can play. He can close out on the ball, use his length. He makes you work for every catch that you get, but it's the NFL. Your man is covered. Give your receivers, give your playmakers an opportunity to make a play on the ball. This is the situation you're in. What are you going to do about it? Now, for this Vikings defense, you got to understand that the Cardinals offense is essentially Houdini. It's smoke and mirrors. The execution is crazy fast. Screen game heavy, double play action to set up the quick pass, but you can't get comfortable because they will go deep. And Kyler Murray, the read option, the crazy speed. We talk about Lamar Jackson league-wide, how dangerous he is. Kyler Murray is on that same level, but a much better arm. Laser cannon of an arm he has. It must be the baseball player in him. I want to see pressure up front. I know it's cliche, but our interior defensive line, you got to get after it. I want to see a heavy dosage of Sheldon Richardson. DJ Wonnum, you got to be better than you were last week against the Bengals. Because if you're not, expect Kyler Murray to be on your side all game long. In the secondary, you're going to face the heat. Okay, Christian Kirk, DeAndre Hopkins, those dudes are legit. The bottom line for this Vikings defense is mindset over anything else. Because if you allow this wizardry of an offense to throw you off and manipulate you to go where they want you to go, then we're looking at nonstop big plays all game long. You got to be locked in. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day at State Farm Stadium. Next video is Monday, reacting to whatever happens on Sunday. We'll see you then.